Hey guys, welcome to the Troy Gramling podcast. It is, as always, awesome to be able to hang out with you today. I want to remind you, you can go to any of the popular platforms, or if you want to see the video version, it is on YouTube. We've been talking about design, and I'm always intrigued by how it surrounds us, and yet we often don't see it. And so we're trying to take some time so we can be aware of it and give more enjoyment. Enjoy the fact that it impacts the way we feel, the way we think, and therefore actually get to be a part of it. And today is no exception. We've got some special guests with us. I'm very excited to hear their story and their insight. We're going to be talking about acting, modeling, photography, and who knows what else we might happen up on. We have, and I'm going to Pwayko. I know it's going to speak. Pwayko and Jasmine Skybank. All right. So, that is an interesting name. And we were talking about that. So,
yeah. So my name is Pwayko Skybank. Stands for Pwayko, past Wayko, which my birth name was Patrick. And I changed my name to Pwayko because I needed to identify myself with more purpose. The family tree was a little confusing. Roots went into places that I wasn't fully supportive of, and I just felt like it was time to do that. And every time I heard my name, I know I needed to stand firm on God and what I wanted to be as a husband and for my family. So I changed my name to Pwayko, and I changed my last name to Skybank. And I was hesitant to change my last name to Skybank, but I felt like I was halfway there, and I just got to go all the way. You got to go for it. So we changed the last name as well, and Skybank stands for our values, which is in God. And that's what we're going to leave behind is our last name. So whenever I learn, whatever I grow, both with her and myself, I want to instill that in our kids and our family and so on, generations. So, yeah.
You know, all of our names have story, but most of the time we don't know them. So, one of the exciting things going forward is that you'll be able to give voice to that and then challenge them to continue that, So.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. And then we're in the age where we can actually share the information genuinely compared to before. We'd have to read books. We'd have to really do research.
She said.
Yeah. But now I could show you a video of my grandfather. That really transcends. So
that's exciting. And I have an impact. Well, it's something to live up to. It seems like it's even in the last several years that moms and dads are more intentional about naming their kids with some sense of something to live up to or something to pursue as just to something that might sound good.
Yeah, for sure.
My name is Troy Gramling, and I was born in Michigan. And I have a cousin who's a couple of years older than me, whose name is Troy Gramling. Very same name. My mom didn't know that.
No way.
But my dad, I guess, did, and it's his nephew. So then we moved and both lived in the same small town with the same name. When I went to college, and I was, registered and everything, and they're like, "You've already graduated." And I'm like, "Well, then just give me a copy of the diploma, I'll be good."
Deal.
Because he pursued the same degree that I was going. Really?
Wait, that's really cool. I wish that would work for me.
Yeah, but I would have been so much further ahead.
Yeah, save some time and money.
That's great.
Anyway, I want to thank both of you guys for being here. Why don't you take a moment, share a little bit of your history and your name, but tell us a little bit about yourself and what you guys do.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm Jasmine Skybank. I am his wife. We have a little boy. His name is Kaneo, and I'm actually
Congratulations.
pretty great. I am a part-time model right now because it feels like full-time stay-at-home mom. It's wonderful. I love being a mom. I love everything about the modeling and acting industry. It has been my heart since I was a child. I mean, I started modeling when I was 8, and actually, that's when we met. His mom was the one that actually got me into modeling, which is really cool and really exciting because, lo and behold, he's now my husband, and we are 30 years old. So, you guys do the math? Yeah. Been a lot. And we love it so much. We both started and did it all the way up until about high school. Then we took our break, and we weren't friends at all. We actually didn't even model together. We just were in the same industry. And now being from dating into engaged into married, we've been modeling, acting together, and it's been awesome.
Yeah. Agree. Wow. So you met and started the relationship while you were in the modeling and acting and those things?
Yeah. So actually, he encouraged me to get back into it about 7 years ago. So I want to say it was like 2016, 2015. And he was like, listen, beautiful girl, also be my girlfriend. Also get back into modeling. That's exactly how it went. And I was like, no, I don't know. I was a full-time nanny. I was like far away from anything about that. And I really feel like it was God not only bringing my husband to me, but also him driving me towards what had already been a part of my life for so long and definitely a part of what I'm supposed to be doing. He was just like nudging me like, hey, let's get into it. And then the perk was he's also very good looking. So they'd be like, oh, they'd put me on set and they'd be like, hey, we're going to pair you up with this person. And I'm like, actually, let me show you a picture of this guy. And then lo and behold, he started getting into it. And then we became like the full-time real life couple models, which during COVID was amazing because they weren't putting people who weren't couples together. They were putting real life couples together because COVID.
Right.
So it worked out for us.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, there's always a blessing in everything. Right? And another child. No, I guess COVID had something to do with that as well. All that time. It definitely did. You got to do something. Yeah.
When you married.
So what modeling, that in our minds that we all have certain images that come to our mind when we think about modeling. What is it? I mean, what is modeling?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, modeling has a lot of different stems to it, branches to it. It really depends on, I would say, your image, would you say?
I think so. And what we do is lifestyle modeling.
Yeah. So I'd say, yeah, that's easier to talk about. We do more of the lifestyle modeling. So it's the products, or for instance, we're in Dania Point right now, which is just like family, couples, shopping, and having a good time.
Yep.
And then there's the other modeling, which could be bathing suit, and then so on and so forth. It really ends up being what your support is, or what you support more than anything. Because a lot of people think modeling is you have to sell yourself in order to get further, and you just have to accept any job. And that's not the truth, because we get jobs every day which we don't support. We wouldn't purchase the product, and the price is great. A few $1,000s to do this for that much time. Oh, that's great. And it's very easy for people to just accept that. But especially nowadays, when you support something that you fully are not backing, it's not a great look.
Right.
Yeah. Let alone you just don't support it. So would you say that's?
Yeah, for sure. And I think oftentimes a lot of people, they ask me, the number one question is like, well, am I allowed to say no? And that's yeah, absolutely. You have actually way more right in this than you think. And I think that people take advantage of the people who think they can't say no. And that's where they get the sheep of the industry. You get the people who are just like, okay, I'll do that. And you can even tell on their face. You can tell it in the photos that there's just something about it. They just don't feel right in it. But these people don't care if you feel good or not. They're here to make their money. And if you say yes and they got a body to do the thing, they're going for it because they're going to get their checks no matter what. And they fulfilled whatever the need was. And so for us, that's one thing that we truly decided when we first got back into it. We were like, whatever we're going to do, it has to align with the name. And the name is Skybank. What does Skybank say? We don't dwell on the earthly treasures, but everything is in heaven. It's above. That's where we dwell. And so if we're displaying family, then everything that we do in modeling is going to be for family. Okay, great. So they hire us to do a job, like he said, for Dania Point, and we're walking and shopping because we would walk and shop together if there were no cameras. It all matches. It matches who we are. And also, like he said, there's so much money out there. You'd be surprised. The things that people say, like, they feel uncomfortable doing, there's less money in that than there is in the lifestyle modeling and the modeling that actually has purpose and fulfillment. which is, they don't tell you that.
Right.
And it's always so scary, to talk about, but it's true.
And you think your ability to say no is what gives you that confidence? Is it success? Is it pre-established, hey, this is who we are, the role that God plays in your life, other people in your life, because I'm sure there are lots of stories like you guys, but those aren't the stories, that we hear. And so many, I know if someone has been a pastor for a long time, so many folks who then pursue the arts have a good intention, but it seems so often to take them down the road. Instead of them impacting the people around them, they tend to get impacted by the people around them. And that happens in every profession, but, in your profession, you're doing something to get our attention. So what's been the key to have the courage, the confidence to say, no, that doesn't fit who we are?
Holy Spirit, for sure. In our life, for sure. And I think as an example, so I got an opportunity to do a job in December of 2021, and it was a really big paying job. And it was between me and another girl. And then I got presented another job, which is for pro-life. And it was an opportunity for him and I to do a shoot together. And it was only after we got this opportunity, after our agency had went out to the entire United States and asked and submitted many, many models and many actors, asking them if they'd be willing to do this job. And so many models and actors turned the job down because it was pro-life.
Yeah.
And so all that to say, we were like, when we heard about it, I had just found out, my agent didn't know, but I had just found out I was 5 weeks pregnant with my son. And I was like, oh, absolutely. I am 100% pro-life. And that same day, my agent messaged me and said, I didn't get the job for the other big job, which was actually probably going to pay more money, twice as much as what we were going to do. But in that moment, I was like, Holy Spirit.
Yeah, take out.
We do.
Doors.
You know what our call is. You know what our desire is. And though this has more money, this has more purpose.
Yeah.
And so in those moments, we sit down, we pray, and we go, God, okay, here we go. The answer was obvious. We already said what we wanted to do. And so I think when you start modeling, whether you are thinking about it or whether you have been asking a bunch of people for advice, you got to know your why.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. If you don't know your why, you already are going to fail. You're not going to know if the no is supposed to be no or not. And then you couple that with Holy Spirit and just ask Him to guide you.
Yeah. Because He will close those doors immediately. Especially in the arts, because you can, like you said, you can easily go down the wrong road because you accept the job for the right amount of money. And if you say no to the right jobs that are backing what you support, and you have the Holy Spirit supporting too, you can't lose. And then it may seem like you're not working as much as the person next to you, but it only takes a few jobs to.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing too, you make a few of those decisions, you also then are making future decisions a little bit easier because people know where you stand. Yeah. So you might not get asked for certain things that you wouldn't want to do because they're just free.
100%.
Whereas I know for me, when I was playing basketball and went to a couple different colleges, you had those first 3 months where you had to kind of show people who you were. You could say, hey, I'm a Christ follower or whatever, but you get invited to all these different things and different environments. But after that 3 months, if you kind of showed who you were, I would get invited to go eat pizza, but not necessarily to go, run and do the things that are more dangerous and destructive, And I would assume, you choose to do something that's pro-life, and there are certain people who are just not going to ask you then to do other things.
That's the thing. Her name was Betty. Shout out to Betty. She's the best. She called me and she was just like, I know you'll say yes, but I have to ask you if you will. Because she had known prior to that, we had 2 or 3 shoots where she just would ask us and if we would be willing to do it. And we were like, no, we don't. We told her why we did it. Yeah. We didn't just say, no, we're not available. Because that's very easy. They tell you the date, they tell you how much it's going to cost. And we just go, yeah, we're not available. very easy to say that. Or we go, we're not available, and this is why. Because once you let them know your why, they're like, well, why would I call them for that? Why would I call them for that? No, they're not going to.
And it's not weird to be in, a lot of people be embarrassed too, because I think just before that, it was a job to drop numbers. It was like $14,000 for one day.
Yeah.
Great amount of money for us starting off as a family. But just what we were supporting was like, no, there's no chance. Like, I can't see myself on that advertisement. And then people see me, it doesn't make sense. But other people are like, well, I have this to pay, this to pay, this to pay. And now you have to weigh those options. Now you have to trust God in that process. So it's important. Holy Spirit's really important.
And I think it's such a mature mindset, because a lot of times we pursue God and we assume, well, he must want us to do this crazy thing. After all, I'm doing what he asked me to do, and I'm struggling to pay this bill. He must want me to do this. He understands why I'm doing this. And then, again, once you're down that road, or even start down that road, it's a lot more, because there's always a rational reason why in our mind.
Always. I think even too, the timing, it would be, we would be asked to do a job, and then we would say no, and then 2 weeks later, rent's due. And I'm like, we should the job. What are you thinking? And then we had to go back and be like, wait, why did we take the job? And then 2 days before rent's due, we get blessed with a job that's like paying 3 times our rent. And we're just like, oh, okay, why stop questioning God?
Yeah.
Stop it. And then there are times where we're scraping and we're trying to figure it out. And we're still like, but no, we said, and that's what we're going to do at the end. Yeah. So it has been hard. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. We're not out here just being 100% successful. There are moments where we're like, where's the money going to come from?
Yeah. And accountability is really important on that too, because luckily we have each other, but certain people are in this game and they're alone. And we meet those people in the game, and you can tell that it's just weighing on them, where they're just accepting any job they can and they're just going through it. But it's you have to say no.
But that's another reason why we know God put us in this industry, because we're light. Yeah. So we meet those people, and I'm telling you, he's had multiple conversations. I've had multiple conversations where someone would come up to me. We've never met. They just saw me, and I can see them looking at me from the corner of their eye the entire day. And then all of a sudden at lunchtime, they walk over to me like, can you pray for me? I'd be like, who told you I even pray?
She said nothing about it.
Said nothing. And they're like, I just can tell that you would be willing to pray for me. And I do. And then come to find out what he just said. They're struggling. They don't know what to do. They don't have choices to make. And we just express, hey, you got to know your why. You got to stick to what you believe in. And then we see them later on, and their like trajectory has changed. And we're like, oh, that also is our thing. We know that we're supposed to be in it because it's not just to make some money and to see our faces up on stuff. Because to be honest with you, when somebody says like, oh, we just saw you doing your point, we're like, okay, cool. Like, we're not like, that's right, we're the blessed. No, that's not what we're thinking. This is actually a mission field. Right. We have a call, and we know the people who are in it are either with us answering the call, or they're looking for an answer. We got it.
Gotcha. No, that's good. That's what the why I think is so important. Because I used to have a trainer Greg Abaddon, and he was a mom, and he travel all over, and he's a little older than me if he's listening. He lives in Colorado now, but he, was successful all through, like I said, he's older than me, and he didn't destroy his marriage. He didn't destroy his life, but he knew why. So, and a lot of times we get into things, especially today, for the wrong why, social media influence. And it's not that influence is wrong, but if that's your why, you can get in some pretty dark places if there's not more depth to the why. So I think it's great advice to all of us, no matter what we might be doing, to really ask ourselves the why. Why do I want to get this degree? Why do I want to start this business? Why do I want to get into this relationship? So that the expectations are honest in that sense. Yeah. So, all right. I know, that we've already been talking for 20 minutes, so we don't have a lot of time left, but I do want to, I know people have lots of questions when it comes to acting and modeling. So let me try to get through some of these. When it comes to modeling, modeling, start there. What's more important? The look of the model, the equipment, or the what you're modeling. You know what I mean? The whatever it is. So, whether it's lifestyle or a product.
What you're modeling first, for sure.
Definitely product first. And then
Everything surrounds that. And then you piece in the model. And then
I'd say the equipment and then the model, and to the point where the model gets paid last.
Sure.
People think it's like, oh wow, you got paid $2,000 to work one day. Well, we got paid 3 months later.
3 months.
Right. That's not fun.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to keep working, put your head down, and hopefully those checks show up when they need to. And
because you don't make the cut always too. The model is really just, it could be anybody. It's important. We're important, but really when it comes down to it, if you're not even in the last shot, you don't even get the pay that they promised you.
Right, because there's levels. So you have SAG, and then you have, which is just non-union, which is just getting picked up. And now with social media, it's so oversaturated because if you have an influence now, you're even more valuable than somebody that has the right image. Yes. Because the fan base, it saves them dollars.
Or the portfolio.
Yeah, exactly. Because we have experience, but I mean, if the person has 1 million followers, they're not going to chew us.
No.
Right. So used to the skill of the individual had more value than where today the first thing they're going to look at is number of published. I know, even like with writing a book that, the book needs to be good, but they really want to know how many people do you influence. Yeah, we'll buy the book.
Yeah. 100%. Because you can have someone else write it and then it's just the author's named on it. It's going to be great.
It's also free advertising. Like nobody talks about that part, but that's really what it comes down to. The influencer, you're paying them to go ahead and advertise the stuff that they're, the product that they're working with. But really, like all their followers are looking and being like, oh my God, and they're gonna go and buy it because they are following this person.
Right. It goes back into ROI. It's like that person will do it because they got the money. Yeah. But why did they do it? Because they probably don't believe in it, but
they also probably have never used that smoothie machine, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I think again, it's just one of those things that's important in every walk of life to ask that. Yeah. To ask that question. Do you think AI will play a role? In the usual.
Let's talk about it.
Helps me with the content creation. Can change the packages that I offer when I do photography. It's pushed me away from doing a lot of certain photography shoots for certain people, to the point where I only do real estate and headshots now. But the beautiful thing about AI is it's fast-tracked the editing process. So now, again, it's saturating the market, so you're charging less because so many people are doing it way faster for a cheaper price. So it's a good thing because it saves us time, but then again, the value of what you're doing and the craft and building it is kind of, you're losing touch on them. So,
right. Yeah. So if somebody out there is... because I know you're a photographer as well, so, and they're going to hire a photographer. Is what makes a good photographer? Is it his equipment and his ability to edit? Is it his eye or her eye? What makes a good photographer?
It's the eye and it's the direction, the eye, the process of making it effortless for the client. To where if you call me and you say, hey, I want to do this shoot, and I'm going to trust you to do it. And you give me all the information that I need from the questions I ask, and I go and I execute it. That's great, right? But it's never like that because everyone always has a question. They want to know what expense goes for each thing. It's not like shopping at a grocery store. There's so many levels to the editing process, the equipment process. Just like this, you have audio. Now it's like you're going to transition that into the podcast as well, and that's a whole nother service with a whole another time that you're adding to. So it gets lengthy.
I think it's lengthy. So can a skilled photographer, let me just ask you as a photographer, which is more important to you? Is it the skill, the eye, or is it the equipment? In other words, can equipment overcome poor? Can I buy great equipment and become a good photographer?
Or you don't need great equipment, especially with AI and stuff. They're saving people that are they're not great photographers, and they're putting it into a software, and it's becoming great. It's really, now I think photographers are becoming marketers, and they're marketing consultants, because you have to be able to come up with a creative perspective to instantly grab somebody's attention with everyone's short attention span. And from then on out, it transitions into a lifelong follow, potentially, if you continue to add that content. So you're really buying the person more than the art that, well, you're getting art that they create, but the person, you can't duplicate what they create. And I think that's really showing that in all areas of creativity, the person's perspective is the most important thing.
So I guess, Stanley, if I'm hearing right, that he's saying that really the equipment's not that important.
Oh, it helps. It helped him for the process.
Oh, the good equipment, the good audio, great Shure mics, all that makes it everything smooth.
Don't get it.
Don't get into it.
Oh, helps. It's important.
Oh yeah, trust me, she knows about it. Whenever I call her,
I just bought a lens yesterday. She's like, "Why do you need another lens?"
Why? He just sold one. He's like, I sold it so I could buy it. I needed the new lens because it's a new lens and it has a new mirror, something.
process. It saves me an extra hour to be with my family.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah. So he did it for you.
So you fall. Much luck.
So do you, modeling or acting, which do you guys enjoy the most?
Modeling for me, because it's a little bit more effortless. She loves acting because she lets the prep and have the lines fit the mold and perform. She's great. Sure. Yeah.
I love it. So my favorite type of acting is method acting, and it's because I'm really good at pulling from personal experiences and then like putting that into the character. And so like if I need to cry, boom, like I can pull from a personal experience. I think about that one time because of that thing, and then within 15 seconds I can pull it and cry. And it's so just, it's almost as if all the things in my life, whatever I'm not expressing, whether it be if I'm not saying something to God or I'm not saying something to my husband or to a friend or something that I need to say, I will literally find myself with a script or with a monologue, get into my little moment and like pour out. And that's where I can find myself expressing, because it feels like it's me and someone else in the room. Sounds insane, you know.
I've always heard that about method actors. It's just crazy.
And they say it's a dangerous way to practice acting, but I believe that since I got Jesus, I'm okay.
Now, have you ever experienced that 15-second cry when she decided, you know what, this and wonder, have you ever, let me ask you a different way. Have you ever accused her of method acting in a trillion %?
That's
I'm hard on the way.
I could see it coming from a mile away, and I love it too because I'm very comical. Whenever things high pressure, I always like to make light of it. And I do that a lot, maybe a little too much, but yeah, I can tell from a mile away.
But he's the perfect balance because he doesn't care for acting at all. He's not an actor at all.
Yeah.
And so I can tell on his face when he 100% is whatever he is. And because he's so discerning, I know that God has given him that spirit of discernment. I know the gift of discernment. I know for a fact that he can see it in me. And so that's a great balance for our marriage because, oh my gosh, for someone to look at you, especially as an actor, and to call you, I'll be like, it's like, but also, okay. You're right. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think how, it's amazing, again, how many marriages are made up of those differences. Oh, yeah. And they have a great opportunity for advantage.
Yeah.
As long as you keep Christ that priority, or they can, cause some challenges if not, for sure. Do you enjoy the comedy or dramatic or?
I love comedy. I think that like my dream, I don't really want to do like a rom-com because he wouldn't be willing to do it, and I don't want to do it with somebody else. Like I don't want to do it, or I like have to kiss him. Like we'll do all that. I don't. That's not my dream. But I do want to be like in stand-up.
Oh, really?
And I think I could kill it as like, now that I have a baby and then I'm also about to have another baby, I think that's just another advantage because like mom life is crazy. And like I talk to a lot of moms and their stories are so funny. So I just feel like I need to pull from those characters and just become this like really great stand-up comedian. It's a dream. I'm putting it out there now. Whoa, what are you talking?
There are lots of places to give it a try.
I've done improv comedy. I've done singing improv, which is like, and I love it so much.
Just got a bunch of videos. I said, just put the videos out. Why not? They're hysterical.
But I'm not telling them.
Well, we'll look forward to that day.
I'll have a different name, probably.
Yeah. Do it incognito, right? Well, let me ask you one last question. Again, when you think of modeling and acting, I think one of the things, is just the taking care of yourself. And is that a huge priority, challenge, a part of it you enjoy, or just a necessary part? What role does that play? And what do you do?
Taking care of yourself is important. And nowadays, though, modeling is changing drastically because they're realizing that everyone's in different shapes and sizes and colors. That before, a model was instantly people would think Baywatch. That was before. Like, you have to be a certain size and everything. But now, people that are models and actors can just be any day working class citizens.
What they prefer, yeah.
And if anything, they want a character more than anyone. So you can see the personality through the image and through the video. And a buddy of mine just told me, he's like, I want to do some modeling. He's like, no, I'm a little too chubby to be doing it. And he did it, and he got a job because he has a personality, charisma about him that you want to know what the product is because of who he is. So it's really, really changing, which is good. So I wouldn't say you have to really upkeep like a body or image or anything like that. But for us, we do like to work out.
We do. We love pickleball.
We do. Everybody loves pickleball now. Yeah, everybody I talk to is playing pickleball. Oh yeah.
Have you?
I always liked racquetball, but I haven't played pickleball yet.
Yeah, it's great balance. I played college basketball and soccer, and I needed to have a lower impact as a dad.
Yeah.
So I picked pickleball, and it's great.
Just wait. Okay.
I love things too. There was something I wanted to add. I wanted to add to what he said as well. There's also like confidence. I think that's a big thing that if you have and you carry that and you're confident of who you are, like he said, the chubby guy who had character, he was very confident and like solid in who he was. And probably agents were like, you should probably lose the weight. They probably did say that.
Yeah.
Or you should probably get a facial. And he probably did go get a facial. He might have lost some weight, but he was very confident who he was. And that read when he did his audition. And they saw him and they were like, ooh, we like him because he's going to confidently take our product and run with it.
Yeah.
And that's important because right now, more than ever, I know you know this, when you see somebody presenting something, whether it be on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, you can tell when they're not about it.
Correct.
You can tell when they're getting paid to do it versus they actually do believe in it and it probably is in their pantry at home or whatever the thing might be. So that's really what it comes down to. They want people who are confident in themselves and who they are and that they're going to be able to present that thing.
Yeah. And we're all attracted to somebody that knows who they are.
Yeah.
For sure.
They love Jesus.
That's right. Yeah. Well, because he helps us, to know who we are.
Yeah.
And Scripture reminds us that who we are is found in him. And we look at all these other places and we find stuff, but it's not fulfilling because it's not really who we are.
No, it's not. That is fulfilling.
Well, guys, thanks so much. I've enjoyed getting to hear just a little bit of your story. Time always goes by so quickly, but I appreciate you stopping by. Anything, are you guys on social media, any of that kind of stuff you want to share with us so people can continue to follow your story?
Sure, yes. Mine is Pwayko, Pwayko. Luckily, I didn't have to fight anyone for that. So
It's just out.
for everywhere, Pwayko is me.
Yep.
And this is my lovely wife, Jasmine. Hers is True Jazz.
True Jazz. TRUEJS. Like true that, but True Jazz.
There you go.
And then, his, for his business, is Skybank Pro.
Photography, yeah, marketing.
Call it.
Ours. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure they will. And we look forward to following you guys' stories, seeing all the cool things that lie ahead, not only as parents, but we look forward to that stand-up.
Yeah.
Me too.
The next Roseanne.
Oh, I would love that. I love that.
She started with all the mom and all that kind of stuff.
I'm telling you, there is a market.
So you'd be opposite, though. Instead of losing weight, you're going to have to put on a little weight.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I did have my last pregnancy, so I'm looking with this one.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. And hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And be sure and let one of your friends know about what we're talking about and the impact it can have on our lives. We'll see you next Thursday right here on the Troy Gramling Podcast. Love you guys. God bless.